I hope that it's not. Some things is not doing that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm pretty sure. I need to. I feel like that's a counted.
I think I left my sunglasses in around the way. They're pretty distinctive though.
The red ones?
Huh?
The red ones? That one.
My hard glasses, huh?
The that one's like a show.
Okay.
Last I saw.
Brian, you know where our tablets are?
Or what? Nameplates?
Yeah, let me go see if I can find it.
Were they not in that second office?
So today is 5th of March 2020, and we're going to start the meeting for today with the introductions, which is name, position, and pronoun. I'll start with myself, Leila, ASLCCSG Vice President, and my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Amber Coleman, Pro Tem, she, her, hers. Serenity, pronoun she, her, hers. Number 7. Green candles are number 6, she, hers.
I'm Della, Senator number 5, I'm an inclusivity officer, they, them.
Other than that,
Fadel, Center 2, pronounce he, him, his.
Hi, I'm William, I'm Senator 4 and Treasury Officer. And
so the first thing we're going to do is the approval of the agenda, that will be able to send anyone anything to add or to remove from the agenda. And everyone has access to the agenda.
I yield my time to.
I had an announcement I was gonna make on there in the request for something to be added to the agenda.
So can we add an agenda item for staff? So I would like to make a motion to add, right before the Senate applicants for, we can add. Anyway, I would like to make a motion to add some time for us, what we call it, we'll say for Caleb to speak, right before Senate applicant interviews. Thank you.
Do y'all have any discussion regarding this before we vote? Alright. Sorry, Albert? Aye. Della?
Aye.
Aye. William?
Aye.
Aaron's not here, so abstain.
Point of information, he wouldn't be an abstention, we just wouldn't vote. There's just no vote.
Ren?
Point of information, the reason she did that is because she didn't call your guys' names, and you guys started voting, so.
So can we, I don't know, what's what we ask?
It would be, Just staff speaker.
Okay, does anyone have anything else to add or to remove from the agenda?
I want to make a motion. I want to motion for Layla, or like to interview Layla Pereira today because she completed the application last term already.
Is she not already one of the applicants we planned on?
She is taking this term off, but she did complete the application by the end of last term, I believe. In the beginning of
Yes, Brian.
What information would be until you are signed up for, or until a Senate candidate is signed up for at least 6 credits in a current term, they are ineligible to become a senator.
I second.
So we can interview this applicant, it sounds like, but we couldn't even ratify them because unless they had all of the credits, they can't be ratified is what I'm hearing, so that would be kind of a pointless interview. If we had other applicants, in a position currently, on staff. You guys can still.
But from what I see, it's being fair as a part of the student government is that we are like should interview her because she already completed it and she completed even before I contacted her. So I don't see why we don't interview her.
What would be? We ask her if one of these two. I didn't even try to put it.
I would like to be just make it was not a problem, and since I'm gonna be the possibility spring and I already applied for the grants already, and I'm taking 13 credits, I just want to know if it's possible to have an interview.
Yes, Brian.
I think by all of the things that govern us directly, right, you could, as a Senate, do an interview, but you would not be able to ratify this candidate into a position until they were a current student with 6 or more credits in good standing with college.
All I think is that we should be interviewed, and we should just.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm waiting for anyone.
So
Any
was the
other
motion
issues?
seconded, Ian, did you finish seconding?
Yes, I second.
I didn't hear, so I didn't hear that.
I second it.
Aside from this meeting, if senators over there could speak up so that the camera could hear, it'd be great.
Supposed to be discussion.
So, the only discussion point I would have for this is if we can't ratify this person, it would almost be a misuse of our time when we have multiple other applicants that are ready to be ratified right now who we can bring in. Is that not accurate? We don't have any of those applicants here.
None of the applicants have finished their checks to make sure that they're able to do full interviews at this time.
Okay, with that being said, we might as well interview her, I suppose, even, but we could not ratify her, so just know that we can't make a motion today to do that. Yes, Fran?
So who's the second applicant that is on the agenda?
Yes.
So we were assuming that there are 3 current Senate applicants that are in process of having their L numbers checked, et cetera. Typically before we go into an interview for ratification, you would receive the first page of any of those that are completed, as we did the last candidate. So at this time, there are 3 candidates, but until their applications are accepted or rejected, I would not typically release their names as a community work.
So if we're going to be doing, we're going to just be, we can keep that for the Sunday. We're just adding first. Anyone has anything else to add or move from the agenda? This one. Okay. Next, we have the approval of minutes from the past meetings. And that will be a vote by title as well. Does anyone have anything about regarding the approval of minutes? Yes.
I've read everything that's available and I'm okay with approving them. I don't know what else is on there. We're following them, so.
I've reviewed at least 2 or 3, so I can review them.
Use your outside voices, please.
Good lord, that's not something you generally get asked inside.
Is everybody else? Okay. Can I just ask, is everybody ready to approve the minutes then?
It's a vote by dissent, so if they're not gonna say anything, I'll just approve it and continue.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, next, we have the statement from the gallery. William? Do we have anyone?
Killer person.
Understand, my understanding was statements of the gallery group before the approval.
We don't have any.
Next, we have the updates, the organizational updates. We have OSA.
Hi, I'm here today, finally. Yay, and a lot of new faces. So my name is Gabby. I'm the organizing director for the Oregon Student Association, formerly the campus organizer here. And my pronouns are they, them, theirs. So I have quite a few updates for you all. So OSA is collaborating with the We Count Oregon campaign. And basically this campaign is a statewide coalition of 12 nonprofit organizations that are making sure that every Oregonian gets counted for the census. And so basically what that means is that we want to make sure that everyone gets counted for the census because what's at stake is $13 billion over the next 10 years for Oregon federal funding, as well as potentially a congressional seat added to Oregon. So a lot of really huge stake things, right? And so if you're interested to become an ambassador this Saturday, March 8th, from 11 to 3 p.m., and it'll be community leaders who will provide folks with the tools to educate and mobilize hard-to-count communities, college students being one of those demographics of hard-to-count communities. And all the attendees, you will receive an ambassador certificate and then be able to work on census work to make sure that people are counted. The next thing that I had is that I talked to Deontay and he expressed some interest for tabling next Monday through Thursday with OSA to help with student government election outreach. And I really think that it would be great for student government officials to be a part of that outreach. So can I just get a raise of hands really quick who would be interested for me to follow up with to table next week? Okay, what was that? Monday through Thursday, and we figure out the times based on your availability. When is that?
I would need to double check with my other clubs to know what days I'd be able to be available.
That's fine. And I'm just following up with people who are interested to see the availability so we can collaborate offline about that. All right, great, thank you all. The next thing I have is the voter vote campaign. So our statewide voter vote civic engagement drive is well underway for the Oregon primary. So OSA historically has run the largest nonpartisan voter registration and education drive in Oregon's history. So it's a really exciting campaign. It's going to be our main spring term focus for next term. We're in the process of scheduling field work for spring term and building a coalition to do this great work. We have ambitious goals to have really high student turnout so that students' voices are counted in the primary and the general elections coming up. And this is really important for also organizational capacity because basically when we get students to vote, we get students to win on priority issues because then elected officials, when we go to talk to them during the legislative sessions, we can say, hey, we've registered X amount of students to vote, and that's why it's important for you to listen to this like really strong coalition of students statewide. And so we'll definitely need a lot of hands on deck to do that work. The next one I had is the legislative update. So unfortunately for this legislative session, the negotiation to end the Republican walkout has had no success. This means that important fiscal decisions and bills will most likely die, including our bills, House Bill 4160, Underrepresented Student Task Force, House Bill 4055, Student Housing and Security, and then Senate Bill 1521, the Credit Transfer Protocol. Our legislative director is working strategically to get these bills in what's called a budget note, which would mean that they would stay alive under the budget note and then be able to be worked on in the 2021 session to extend the longevity of those bills. And the ones that most likely that will be able to happen is House Bills 4160 and 4055. And so I'll keep you all up to date, but regardless, we do need to keep the fight going for students to have good affordability and access wins in the 2021 session, and this definitely shouldn't be looked at as a loss because we do have a lot of coalition building for 2021 to make sure that we can keep serving students despite this partisan debacle that's happening. Finally, with the hiring timeline, the student hiring timeline for the Community College campus organizer position is underway, and we will have interviews next week, and I will have updates, but we're hoping to have somebody here for you all full time by the beginning of spring term. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the Wildlife Overlays Campaign Coordinator with Osprey. My pronouns are she, her. So just some context about Osprey. We are the state's oldest student-run and funded nonprofit in Oregon since 1971. And I'm just going to give you guys some campaign updates. So for our buses campaign, our main goal right now is to get LTD to commit to 100% electric buses by 2030. Right now, they're getting groups to sign on, and as of right now, they have collected 150 photo petitions. The Wildlife Overlays campaign's main goal right now is to get President Hamilton to commit to phasing out single-use plastics by 2025. We have over 65 state petitions, 20,000 sign-ons, and now we're working to build a coalition with groups on campus. Last week, we had an agreement called Beyond the Dam regarding our police hiring dam. There's a panel with an Oxford student to which 50 people, including legislators, showed up, and over 300 people showed up to the film. And we're also having a Friday 13th table. So that's going to be 11 to 1 next Friday to collect quota petitions. And yeah, if you guys want to stop by and get your picture taken, that'd be awesome. And then hunger and homelessness, we're continuing to tackle food insecurity. Next week, they're going to be handing out sandwiches on campus to students that deal with food insecurity. And then the textbooks campaign is continuing to make textbooks more affordable. This past week is open ed week, so the OER librarian was putting on events to promote textbook affordability. And then the New Learners Project for getting young people to vote in the primary. They had a Super Tuesday table to get students to register.
So I have a question. I hope you don't misunderstand me or anything, but like, what's exactly the point of taking pictures?
Point of procedure, you typically aren't able to ask direct questions in this sort of setup.
Are we able to answer that?
No, the thing would be to get with them and ask them directly after.
Okay.
Next we have ASLCCSG advisor.
So, we're dealing with electronics right now. I'm Lida. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm your advisor. I hope you know that. So I want to talk to you a little bit about COVID-19. And if any of you have any specific concerns or, and I know what you just said, but I apologize for not making it to the work session, but I want to know if anybody has any concerns, you know how to take care of yourself. Great, you're wonderful. So prep for, I want you to know that there's a prep for, they make plans for in case we have to close. They're working with all of your faculty members to continue online. Good idea. To continue having classes online so that you would be held harmless in case anything happens. If there is an issue where the college closes or you feel that you need to stay home or your faculty member feels they need to stay home so that you can't finish it and they aren't going to allow you to do that, I want to hear about it and we can intervene for that because they've been told you need to be able to finish your term out. And we have precedents from this from a year when we got snowed out at the finals week, so they know what to do. And just a piece of information for you as students, as I hope you know, the women's basketball team went to the NWAC tournament. They went up to on Wednesday night, it's being held in Everett, Washington. They spent the night last night. They went and practiced this morning, and now Everett has closed the college, and the tournament has been canceled. So all the athletes and the coaches are coming home. But we commend them for placing so well and making it to the tournament that wasn't held. Hiring for the director of student engagement is proceeding. We're waiting. The college policy now is that they will not post a position until they've held the first hiring committee. The coach of the women's basketball team is my chair, so we're waiting for him to come back and hold the first meeting, and then it will be posted. And you do have a representative from student government on the search committee. Have you been updated on the election, on how the, am I going to make an official statement? Should I make an official? I'll make an official statement. Your advisor is going to violate your contract, your constitution, so you can fire me if I, oh wait, I'm retiring. Because we had a problem. Deontay did not understand that you had changed your constitution, so he has reposted the correct guidelines to be a candidate. I think all the people who had filed, we have asked to not campaign, and we're having another 3 weeks of through the end of the term. I guess it's 2 weeks now of you can file for a candidacy and then